So, welcome to day two of my monthly workshop, which is the gift of forgiveness, healing or freeing the heart, um, restoring peace. And we can add actually uh, bringing inner joy and transforming every aspect of our life. So, this workshop yesterday we did some very practical techniques to help to release a lot of things that we are holding on to. But today we're going to go really deep into our practice. And I will be turning on our level 2 Tao Calligraphy field during this portion of the workshop while we're doing our forgiveness. So it's going to be very, very powerful. So let me put my PowerPoint on and see where we're going to begin. Okay, let's begin with where we left off. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have here physical and emotional benefits of forgiveness. Now, I know that, many of us, oh, what did I do? Many of us are working towards lowering our blood pressure, reducing muscle tension, and we tried to release all of that tension yesterday. Hopefully you practice it today. We're so open to receiving as much as we can, supporting heart health, reducing chronic pain flare-ups, relieving indigestion, and more. We're working towards these things, and there is a simple science explanation about that. Forgiveness helps calm stress hormones. We talked about it yesterday. Cortisol, when we have a higher level, it can cause all of these health problems. And so when we do forgiveness, it calms that hormone and it brings in the good hormones to make us happier and healthier. So this is what happens. Master Sha teaches that when you are facing challenges in your life, it is most important to understand the root cause of the challenges. The root cause. We need to know what is actually caused. On the surface, we can we say, okay, we're going to take this or that, but it's just on the surface. We take medication and it's good. Master Shah said, don't stop if your doctor says to take it, but it might come back again unless we work on the root cause, okay? And we need to know how to remove that root cause. So now a deep wisdom to understand this is that the positive or negative records that we carry on our soul are the root causes of success and failure in every aspect of our life. So the negative records that we are carrying now, yesterday, records that we carried we made it like they were rocks in our bag or in our pocket. And we can gently place them down and say, I choose not to hold all of these things inside of me, on my soul, right? So the greatest forgiveness is the key to addressing the root causes of our challenges, the negative records carried by our soul from all lifetimes. So we did it physically, placing it. So now we're going to do the deeper wisdom that Master Sha gives. Yesterday was more of the generic. People who do not know Master Sha's teachings can, release all of these negative or the hurt, with imagining that you're going to place that rock down. And it helps. It really does. But in Master Sha's teaching, we need to remove the root cause in order to really, truly become happier and healthier. So it says here, Jesus created all kinds of miracles just by saying, "You are forgiven." You see, even in the Bible, it says that forgiveness is truly a way to handle all of these problems that we're creating in our soul, heart, minds, and body. So today we're going to really and truly, and I already turned on the level 2 Tao Calligraphy field of Da Kuan Shu, which is greatest forgiveness. Now, there are two ways to receive forgiveness. One is to receive universal, divine, or the source forgiveness, and the other is to do forgiveness practice. So that is what we're going to do. In the book, here, this is the book. I hope you can see it. Greatest Forgiveness. This is written by Dr. and Master Sha with his two leading teachers, Cynthia Devereaux and David Lush. And there are many, many practices. So if you have this book, use this book, okay? I know when you're using the book, there is also a calligraphy in the book of Da Kuan Shu, right here. But today you're going to see a different. Da Kuan Shu is same, but Master Sha, when he creates the level 2, which is a higher dimension, higher frequency calligraphy, he draws this circle. Only he can draw the circle. We can trace it, but he is the only one that can write it. This represents the Tao, the source. Okay? So you're going to see a different calligraphy up because it's going to be at a higher frequency. But if you have this book, use it. Okay? It's very powerful as well. Now, we're going to do first a gentle arm flow exercise. Okay? We're going to let go and receive before doing the practices. So again, Master Sha says you have to do yin and yang. Okay? So this is a movement practice. We're not just going to sit. Even when we do the practice, we might have to trace. That is part of, movement. Okay, so let's start with our arm. Okay, I'm going to, this is, as you can see, Da Kuan Shu. It is already turned on for the purpose of our practice today for all. And you can make a request when we're doing all of these practice. If you have any health issues, challenges in your life, could be relationship, financial, business, whatever it is, because it helps every aspect of our life. So make a request, okay? Now, if you can stand up, please stand up and put your feet shoulder width apart. Okay, I'm trying to maneuver my computer, so I'm sitting, but if I'm standing, you would be putting your feet standing with shoulder width apart, okay? And then you're going to slowly raise your arms like this. And as you do this, you're inhaling and gathering the Senchi Jing from Da Kuan Shu, which is a portal of light. Da Kuan Shu is greatest forgiveness. And then as you gently lower your arm like this, you exhale, saying, greatest forgiveness. Okay, or Da Kuan Shu, whatever. And bring it down, all the way down, like this. Releasing and letting it go, And I remember hearing Master Sha say, let it go all the way down to your feet into Mother Earth, okay? Because it's carrying a big load. So we're gathering the Senchi Jing from Da Kuan Shu, bringing it down. Greatest forgiveness. We're releasing, okay? And letting go the negative messages that we carry on our soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. One more breath. Da Kuan Shu, oh, greatest forgiveness. We're going to go greatest forgiveness now. Gather You're seeing the portal of light coming out from Da Kuan Shu. Greatest forgiveness. I'm hoping you could feel that release. Okay? So you repeat this several times. Okay, we did it several times already, but actually, when we gather the Senchi Jing, oh my gosh, that light, many of us cannot understand just by doing that what is happening because we are living in the third dimension. It always reminds me about when Master Shah says calligraphies are at a higher dimension, there's infinite dimensions, fourth, fifth, sixth, and it goes up higher, right? And I always think about an ant who lives in the first or second dimension. They cannot imagine what we in the third dimension are doing, like riding on an airplane or speaking to someone in Japan or Africa, or being on a computer with all of you. You're all sitting at home and I'm here speaking to all of you, right? It's hard to imagine that happening. And it's the same way with us. In the third dimension, we cannot imagine what goes on in the fourth, fifth, sixth dimensions. And this is why when we come into this level 2 Tao calligraphy field, we are in a higher dimension. And something is happening. So we just need to have the faith, trust, and know that whatever Master Shah is teaching us, because Master Shah knows what's going on, because his soul standing is so high. And we need to try to uplift our soul, to a higher level. But I know it's going to be very difficult in this lifetime, maybe. But, we need to at least listen to a master who can teach us these things. So one of Master Shah's top Tao technology is the Tao calligraphy. So you will find Tao calligraphy in this book, Da Kuan Chu, right? I showed you. Oh, you cannot see it there. In this book. So if you have this book, you're very lucky. Of course, as I said, even the level or the dimension is of a different, the calligraphy that you find here is not the same as the one I'm putting on the screen today. So you are very blessed. If you're here, I know Master Shah would say, oh, you are the smart one to be here today. Because you actually, followed your soul. Now, this Tao calligraphy is a portal of light, and it carries the Senchi Jing of Tao source. It is the purest, the highest frequency of Tao source Senchi Jing, and it can transform your negative Senchi Jing to positive with source love. So when we're doing this, we're actually transforming the negative Senchi Jing and bringing in the positive light, the portal of light. So now, we know that we erased a lot of the negative Senchi Jing, but we've lived many lifetimes, so we need to do these practices over and over and over and be in the light as much as we can. So when it changes and transforms, it's transforming to positive Senchi Jing with source love, source forgiveness, source compassion, source light, and more. And more means the other 6 greatest qualities of the source. And I, said yesterday, it's not only up to the light, but it's also greatest humility, greatest harmony, greatest flourishing, greatest gratitude, greatest forgiveness, and greatest enlightenment. All of that changes our negative Senchi Jing to positive. So the practices are the essential keys to healing and transformation. So we're working on lowering blood pressure, heart, if you have heart problem, knee problem, all of these challenges, even relationship problems, financial problems. What is the key? Being in the light. In the Tao Source Calligraphy has so much light. It helps to transform our lives. Now, the forgiveness practices that you find in this book uses 5 power techniques. The breath power that we used yesterday has been included recently. Master Sha received from the source messages, right? And he gives it like stepping stones. Sometimes he gives it at a slower pace, whichever way the source will tell him, okay, now you can share this with humanity. But as soon as he gets it, he'll share it with us. And so breath power came recently, which is very, very powerful. And so we've been doing that. So the sound power in this book uses the 3 forgiveness mantra, which is, I forgive you, you forgive me, bring love, peace, and harmony. So when we're doing our practice, we're going to chant, I forgive you, you forgive me, bring love, peace, and harmony. And in Mandarin, wo wan yang ni wan yang wo, shang ai, ping an, he xie. So it's good for you to, if you want to take a shot of this, you can. So that when, you have time, you can just repeat this over and over, because this is a wonderful forgiveness. He did offer us the latest forgiveness, which I mentioned yesterday, the one that I deeply apologize. And he included Tenda, because we need to be aligned with the Tenda, right? But this one is so simple. I forgive you. You forgive me. Very powerful. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Okay, if you have this book, you can turn to page 24, but I will put it on the screen so you can look at it later, okay? So, for any sickness, disease, pain, inflammation, tumor, cancer, or other physical health conditions, you apply the 5 power techniques as follows. But we can also do the breathing, all right? So for body power, you're going to place one palm over your lower abdomen. You can do it now, just below your navel, and the other one over the organ that you would like to heal, because we're going to be doing healing for our physical body, our health, okay? And remember this, the body power is where you put your hand, hiccups, is where you receive the benefits. So for soul power, we're going to say hello to the outer souls, anything outside of our body, and the inner souls. Whomever you invoke is who offers you benefits. So close your eyes at this time. Dear Source and Divine, dear all spiritual fathers and mothers in all realms, dear Heaven and Mother Earth, dear countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes, dear all the souls my ancestors or I have harmed in this lifetime and all lifetimes. Dear the sentient gene, and you can name the system, organ, part of the body, physical health condition such as hypertension, diabetes, tumor, cancer, or pain for which you want a healing for. You say, name it right now. And you say, I love you all. I mean, sounds funny to say you love your cancer, or you love your heart problem, or you love your hypertension. But you need to say that, I love you all. And then you say, please forgive my ancestors and me for all the mistakes that we have made in all lifetimes and in this lifetime. We unconditionally forgive anyone who harmed my ancestors or me in all lifetimes. Please give me healing, blessing, rejuvenation, and transformation for, and then repeat your request. Whatever you said earlier. I am extremely grateful. Thank you. Mind power, visualize golden light shining in the area of your request. You know, as we said, when golden light shines, all sickness disappears. That's one of Master Shah's one-line wisdom, right? Okay, the sound power, as I said, I forgive you. We added unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. So tracing power is you're going to trace the Da Kuan Shu, okay? And the longer you trace, the longer you chant, the better results you could receive. So don't just do it one time and say, wow, I'm healed. You know, if it's a very chronic ailment or if it's a life-threatening ailment, Master Shah says you need to do it at least 2 hours a day. You can split the time, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes, 15, 30, until it's 2 hours a day. And it is 2 hours is long, right? But when you do it with a group, you extend the time. So if there are like 8 or 10 or 5 people, you multiply that, okay, by itself, and then you multiply that, divide that by the time, like 60 minutes or 10 minutes, and see how long you practice, okay? And then we're going to close with how, which means, oh, good, perfect, healthy, and you pronounce it how. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and gong song, which means please rest and respectfully return. Because we don't want these holy beings, the light being 24/7 with us. We need to let them rest, right? That is spiritual courtesy. So we're going to begin, okay? Since you made your request, visualize the light, and I will, you know what I'll do? I'll go. As I said, you can trace the Tao 3 times. You go the circle. Now it's very hard for me to move the cursor, but I'm doing it as best I can. And you go around 3 times. Tao, Tao, Tao. Okay, now we're going to do go across. Now this is the connecting line, right? Because it's oneness writing. Da, okay. This is Da. And here we're going to connect with Kuan Shu. So it starts here, but make sure you do the connecting line as well, okay? Some places are very light, but it's still, the brush stroke is still there. Up, down. Go slowly with me because you're connecting and aligning with Da Kuan Shu. So this is Kuan Shu. And here's the heart right there. And then you go around again 3 times, okay? You do the circle 3 times and go around and around. And when you put your 5 fingers together, it represents the 5 elements. So you're working on whatever your condition is, maybe the heart with the fire element. So it's going to be connecting, right? And then we're going to say, I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, now you made your request for any of your health conditions. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Continue. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I will softly play in the background I will play Love, Peace, and Harmony. And you can still continue to say, I forgive you, you forgive me. I forgive you, you forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Let's add unconditionally. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Now, some of you may want to stand, shoulder width apart, and then you can, oops, okay, and then I'm going to go like this. And you can do it with your lower abdomen, okay? It's very powerful. So you can do either way. Master Shah recommends doing it with your lower abdomen, your dam. This is where the energy centers are. I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you. You forgive me. Unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And I know that I said if you have a chronic ailment, life-threatening illness, it should be more than 2 hours, or at least 2 hours a day. But because this is a workshop, I'm saying do it on your own later, okay? But we're doing it now together, even if it's 2 or 3 minutes, because there are many of us together, it extends that time. So it's just like you did it more than 2 hours, right, today. So it's very powerful when you do it with a group and when you are in the level 2 Tao Calligraphy field. And I want you to, if you had a pain, I want you to think, what was the level of that pain? From 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. If it was like a 6, and after the practice it came down to a 5 or 4, that's wonderful. And as you keep on doing, you know the blockages are being removed. I forgive you. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. We'll do it one more time. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And if you are still writing this da, make sure you finish all the way down to the end, because this is the oneness writing. So continue on. The rest of you can say, I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Unconditional forgiveness must come from all levels of the soul, heart, mind, and body. Now the key is for it to come from the heart and soul levels. Sincerity and honesty moves people, heaven, and soul. Forgiveness is not a one-time practice, as I said. Forgiveness has layers and is a gradual process that occurs over time for most people. I mentioned that yesterday. You cannot just say, oh, please forgive me just one day and think it's over. No, it has layers. So forgiveness opens the heart and soul. So that's why you're feeling better. Miracles can happen. Forgiveness is one of the golden keys to unblock the door to advancing in every aspect of life. That's a powerful sentence or wisdom. Forgiveness is one of the golden keys to unblock the door to advancing in every aspect of life. So that's how we transform ourselves. We advance in every aspect of life. And he puts in every aspect of life because it's not only physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual. So we can transform, as I said, not only, it's right here, physical, but also our emotional, mental, spiritual, in relationships, finances, and business, just by applying greatest forgiveness with a Tao Calligraphy Da Quan Shu. What time is it? Okay, because I wanted to do, there are so many practices. You can do it for your mental body, for your emotional body, for your finances. But today I will try to do for maybe 2 practices in the field. You know, we're very, very blessed to be here, right? Now, for any mental challenges and conditions, the secret practice is to use the heart to heal. So we're going to do today the health. We did our health challenges. We wanted to transform health. We just did it right now. So I'm hoping that all of you, made your requests. And if you say, oh, I don't feel any different, don't worry, because it's at the soul level, it is working. You heal the soul first, and healing of the mind and body will follow. So after the soul is healed, then our body will start to feel better. So Master Shah says always, if you feel nothing, it's just that we're not sensitive enough. Those people who have open channels, maybe they can feel that. Some of us on the physical level, we can't, but know that and be grateful that it's working at the soul level, okay? Oh, what did I do? Okay. Now we're going to do the mental challenges. We're going to try to heal and transform this. So put one palm over your lower abdomen, below your navel. Place the other palm over your heart. And then we're going to go with, I want to try to move. I don't know if you can see this, but okay. Soul power, dear. And when I'm doing the soul power, you can close your eyes. Sometimes, Master Shah says, when you go inward, it's more powerful. Okay, I will read it for you. So you don't need to read it. Just feel it in your heart. Dear Source and Divine, dear all spiritual fathers and mothers in all realms, dear Heaven and Mother Earth, dear countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes, dear all the souls my ancestors or I have harmed in any way related to mental challenges and conditions in this lifetime and all lifetimes. Dear Senchijing of my heart and mind, I love you. Please forgive my ancestors and me for the mistakes that we have made in this lifetime and all lifetimes. causing mental challenges and conditions in others, and for the times we have hurt others through our mental challenges. We unconditionally forgive anyone who caused mental challenges in my ancestors or me in all lifetimes. Please heal my and name your mental condition like forgetfulness or negative mindsets, attitudes, belief, ego, attachment, judgment, self-doubt, okay, loss of memory, hard to focus. Name that right here. Please heal my, and name it. I am extremely grateful. Thank you. Visualize your heart and mind shining golden light. And the sound power, as I said, you can chant or sing. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony, and then trace greatest forgiveness. The Tao Calligraphy of Tao Kuan Chu, and we end it. Tao Kuan Chu, here we go again. Oops. Oh, I guess I did put, okay, let's go back to Tao Kuan Chu. And we can do the tracing as you did. And this time you're going to be saying, I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And I will be chanting for you this time, okay? I forgive you. You forgive me. Bring love, peace, and harmony. And trace it while you're singing. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. One last time. I forgive you unconditionally. You forgive me unconditionally. Bring love, peace, and harmony. Now when you say, I forgive you unconditionally, you got to go deep in your heart. Really and truly forgive what that person has done. Many times we only say it, I forgive you, but if you can still feel that thing when you see that person and you get upset or something, we haven't really gone deep enough. Because many times before I even learned this, when this person who really hurt, not only me, but my family as well, I would see that person and I would make sure that I detour, go the other way so that I don't have to confront him. Because that means I did not yet forgive that person, right? But recently, I was able to speak, talk to them, and laugh together even. And then I realized, wow, it took me many years to actually feel that way and release, all that. So, as you said, or Master Shah says, you know, just let it go. It's so important to let it go, right? So, I forgive you unconditionally. Seems like a very short sentence, but you need to go deep. You know, they say you have to do this over and over, but you can go over and over, but if you don't really feel it inside, it doesn't count. It has to really sincerely come from your heart, okay? And when you start to feel, and you're going to notice the lightness, the peace, the calmness. So, okay, we were doing it for our mental challenges, right? Mental benefits include clearer thinking. So many of us may have put the request in so that you could have clearer thinking, right? So when we did it with the Tao Calligraphy field, you know that blockages were being removed so that you can have clearer thinking, better memory, improving your focus. Because many times, even when I'm doing something, oh, my focus is on something else. And so I don't really get whatever I'm supposed to be getting. Greater emotional resilience. All of these, well, you can benefit from by doing these exercises from the book, this book, okay? So, another very effective way to free the heart and restore peace in our lives is to write a letter, not to be sent to them, but to write a letter from your heart about any hurt or harm. So you can begin with, dear so-and-so, what hurt me was, and write down what hurt you. Or you can say it in your own words. This is just an example. You can say, dear so-and-so, I was really hurt when you did this and this and this to me. Write it down, because you felt it, and it happened. And maybe that person did that. It wasn't intentional, but you got that hurt. You felt it within you. So it's good to write a letter. So if you have a pencil and paper now, write down really quickly. Okay? And then you can say, what I'm ready to release is, and then write what you're ready to release from that incident. If they really hurt not only you or your family, sometimes when they hurt your family, it's even harder because, you just feel for them, right? So release that. But you have to say, I'm ready. What you're ready to release. Write it down. You're ready to release what? The anger that was caused by this, the pain, the resentment. Write it all down so you can release that. Then you're taking off that load, right? And then you end with, I choose inner joy and inner peace for myself. So I'm going to give you a few moments. You write down, because this is important. I hope you have a pen and a paper, pencil and paper or whatever. Sometimes when you see it on a piece of paper, you can see it right there. Oh my, I've been holding on to this. You don't want that to happen. Okay. Okay, so you may write anything you wish from your heart, because this is just a suggestion. So I'm hoping that you're choosing inner joy and inner peace in the end. Okay, this is what you do after you write that letter, okay? Place it on your altar for a day or so, and then you can burn it with a prayer of forgiveness. Or I know in the book it says you can tear it up. Or this was a suggestion from someone who did forgiveness. They teared it up, placed it in a plastic bag, and threw it away, or buried it, you know. But you can do anything that will, you're letting it go. So we do have, the dodayaki that we try to burn at the end of beginning of the year, but we were not approved for burning for this past weekend, so we're going to wait. So if you have and you want to burn your letter, you can fold it, put it in an envelope, and we can burn it for you. Bring it to the center, and we can burn it for you with a prayer of forgiveness. So this is one way to restore peace in your life. Simple, right? Master Sha says the greatest wisdom, the greatest Tao wisdom is extremely simple. So forgiveness doesn't change what happened, because it happened, right? But it changes how it lives inside us. Because the hurt, you felt that hurt. You felt that pain. You felt that resentment. It doesn't change what you felt when it happened to you, when they did that to you. But now it has to change how it lives inside us. So this sentence is simple on the surface, right? But it carries a lot of quiet, deep wisdom. Let's open it up gently. Forgiveness doesn't change what happened, because it honors the truth. What happened, happened, right? The loss, the betrayal, the words spoken, the wound felt, those facts remain. So think, if somebody hurt you or did something to you, think about the past that it remains, right? But now we're going to have to change how it lives inside of us. Now, this part of the statement is important because many people resist forgiveness out of fear that it means minimizing their experience. No, we don't want to do that. We want to just say that this thing happened. Like you said, when you wrote the thing, what hurt me was, because it hurt. But now we're going to have to change this by seeing what we can do. So forgiveness begins by fully acknowledging the reality of what occurred. But now it changes how it lives inside us. Now this is where the transformation happens, right? When an unresolved hurt lives inside us, it often shows up as replayed memories. We're going to start thinking over and over of the same thing. It tightens our body as we're thinking, oh, that person did this and this. And this lingering sadness, anger, resentment start to bubble up again. And, when something happens like this, you guard your heart so your relationships get strained. People just close their heart. Today we're freeing our hearts, right? So we don't want to keep this thing inside of us. Fatigue or heaviness that we carried for years and years. So we need to solve these hurt in our lives, because you don't want to be carrying that heavy backpack with all those rocks inside, right? So unforgiven pain is like carrying a heavy stone in your pocket every day. So forgiveness can shift anger into understanding. Not approval, understanding. right? Forgiveness can shift bitterness into acceptance. Now, I want you to dwell on these words. It's important. Understanding, acceptance, emotional tension into calm, a sense of being stuck into a sense of freedom. In this way, forgiveness is an act of self-care and inner liberation. I like that. Self-care. Self-care is not being selfish, you know. Self-care, when you take care of yourself, you can help others even better. Because, you know, if you don't care for yourself and try to release all these kind of pain, what happens? We get sick. We can't serve. So self-care actually is service. And Laurie always has a free Love, Peace, Harmony session on Tuesdays. Well, today is Tuesday. So she'll have one at 11:30 to 12. Right? Is it 11:30? Yes. And you know, when you care for yourself, she brings it down so nicely, and then she does it in the Love, Peace, Harmony field. This is a free session. So she always says self-care is service. It's not being selfish. Okay. So here is a gentle reflection on forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't say what you did was okay. So when you forgive someone, you're not telling them it was okay what you did. Because you don't want them to do the same thing to someone else, right? So when you're forgiving someone, it doesn't mean that you said their action was okay, what you did was okay. It says, I choose not to let this pain control my heart anymore. That's what you're doing. I choose not to let this pain control my heart anymore. So if someone did something to you and your loved one, that's all the pain inside of you, but you don't want to let that pain control your life, your heart. You want to free your heart, right? Now, we cannot change what happened. That's true, it happened. But we can soften the way it rests in our hearts. Read it again. We cannot change what happened. So if you're thinking about, wow, you know, that in your mind, oh, this is how they did it. Oh, wow, it's really awful. It felt like it's terrible. But you can change. So when you're forgiving them, you can soften the way it rests in your heart. So that other memory is being released, and now it rests in your heart in a very softer way. And in that softening, we often find more peace, more breath, and more room for inner joy. Now, I know many of you may have incidents in your life that you felt harmed, hurt, abused by others. But if you can use some of these gentle reflection on forgiveness, your life will be so much better. You can live a life of inner joy, inner peace. You can take off that load, right? So, what I want you to do is whenever you're feeling like that heaviness, like you were abused or you were, taken advantage of, I want you to realize that that person who did it to you feels nothing. So if you just hold on to that, it's just like just receiving it. But if you can stop that by saying, I choose not to let this pain control my heart anymore, then it stops right there, right? So when someone yells at you and you receive it, it hurts you. But if someone yells at you, but you don't reciprocate, you don't even think anything of it, it stops right there. Nothing, will be bringing you pain or challenges in your life. I often think, wow, we go through life holding on to that, and we don't want that. We want to feel happy, and it's important that you let others know too about forgiveness. That it's not saying it's okay that they hurt us, but you have to just say that, you just want to release that and you choose to be more in peace, right? So I wish all of you, to be in this condition of being happy, healthy. Go back and watch this part again. And those that are not on the line, because I know some of them had appointments, they told me earlier, but I will now say to the level 2 Tao Calligraphy Field, please turn on for those that are watching the replay. For the level 2 Tao Calligraphy Field to help them transform their lives as most appropriate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the level 2 will be on for those that are watching the replay. And, for those that already received it, you get this one-time blessing. But when you watch it over and over again, you get the feeling of, releasing a lot of pain. So let's end it here by saying, my wish for all of you is to be healthy, happy, and to find inner joy and inner peace. So I'm happy that many of you came today so you could be in the field, but I'm hoping that some of you would like to write in the chat how you felt. Okay, Amy had, Dear Annette, thank you for such kind words of wisdom. It will help us in all aspects of life to heal and transform our lives. That's so true. Yes. Now, these workshops that I give monthly, we're doing it more now for healing, transforming our lives. The wisdom is important, but what's the use of having all the wisdom but not doing the practices and not trying to transform our lives, right? So I'm glad that some of the practices that we did will really begin to transform our lives, and I know it will. I believe that it will help you because you were in this very, very powerful field. So I will now say to the field, please rest and respectfully return. Gong song, gong song, gong song. And we're very grateful that we were able to be in the field today. So thank you, everyone. So let me say my thank yous to those that were here. Thank you, Susan, Joanne, Charlene. I don't know who default is.
I am this Joan.
Oh, hi, Joan.
I'm getting problems by machine again.
Oh, well, wonderful, Joan. I'm glad that you're on.
Okay.
And Claire and Betty and Amy Clara for joining today. So, and I'm hoping that you got a lot from today because in our lifetime, we need to forgive. It's hard, but we need to do it in order for us to continue to go on living a happier and healthier life. Okay? Because if we don't forgive, who's going to be suffering? We are. We are the ones suffering, not the person that hurt us. We're the ones that are going through the suffering. So forgive. And as I said, we're not saying it was okay that they did that. We're accepting. We're just, releasing that. And we choose for ourselves peace and inner joy. Okay? So thank you, everyone. Aloha and mahalo. And we'll see you on Monday with the free Love Peace Harmony. And today we have free Love Peace Harmony with Laurie, self-care. Don't forget. And then on Wednesday, I do have my Tao Calligraphy Field Level 2 session. And Thursday, we have the free evening. Please join us for the free evening because you're going to be in the field, the free evening. And I think this week, if Dr. Gina can come on, she might be on. I'm not sure if she's traveling, but I'm going to call her today. So she might be on Thursday because we do have every week a different person for the free evening. It's only from 7 to 8, but you're going to be in the field. I mean, it's very powerful. So join us. And then Friday we have Jamie's class. Okay, so aloha and mahalo. Bye.
Thank you, Annette. Bye.
You, Annette.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Betty. I hear your voice. I see Susan. Bye, Amy and Joanne. Aloha, mahalo.
Thank you.